Hey, Rick.
Hey, Megan. Yesterday
I
was a
have
holiday.
to,
It seems like Monday.
I know. Well, there is no holidays when you are in real estate.
That's right. I worked all day yesterday. I was working.
Heck yeah, I know. I
It's a
I have
good.
18 offers in on a property. I can't
Uh,
not deal with it like as it's coming in. Otherwise, my head
right.
will explode. So that explains
Yeah.
my apologies up front to everybody. I have zero makeup on. I have a messy bun and my computer glasses, and it's do or die today. It's now or never.
That's right.
And I just, I spent 2 hours on a legal call this morning with our board of realtors with John. Yeah, I can't ever say his last name appropriately. John's a great guy, and he was just
hmm
explaining everything that's going on in the market as far as keeping everybody up to speed and out of trouble and that sort of thing. And I
hmm
appreciate that our board of realtors does that. And sometimes people
Yeah.
think that realtors are just out there, trying to sell you a house. Like, hello, there's 10,000 moving parts to this job. And one of them
Uh-huh.
is to make sure that none of us end up in a litigation. So that was a good 2 hours well spent this morning.
Good. Yeah. It's always fun stuff, though, right?
I know it is. It's interesting. I used to
Yeah,
be
it
on
is.
that, ethics committee, and I was on the ethics committee for about 4 years, and I have never learned so much in my life. I I
Yeah.
think every realtor should have to be on the ethics committee so that they can take some notes and like, gosh, don't get yourself in this situation, and
Yeah. Well, it's a
but
funny thing. It
anyway,
reminds me about, gosh, 40 something years ago, I was involved in a transaction. And I kid you not, this listing agent was one of these hot shot types of agents. And the counter offer, he took out a napkin sitting across from the seller, took out a napkin and wrote the counter offer on the napkin. And I'm like, you can't do
wow.
that. Well, no, that's what he did. I thought, what a Looney Tune, right? Anyway, I read,
That actually came up in the call today, and they said
yeah.
that yeah, you can write a contract on a napkin.
Well, but what happened was
Not
this guy
advisable.
was, well, the interesting thing was about a year later, I was looking in the DRE bulletin, his license was revoked.
Oh no.
Yeah. So apparently he was used
Wah,
to,
wah.
working on the edge, I guess. Right. Yeah, it's
Right,
real stuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
Little dangerous, little
hmm
dangerous. So
Yeah.
speaking of 18 offers that I have
hmm
today, I know that we give a lot of market updates, but
Yeah.
the word market is like the word balance. It's an action word. The market,
hmm
it's like a living, breathing entity, and
Yes, it is.
it's got a life of its own. So typically,
hmm
the beginning of the year is normally a little bit sleepy because people are getting over the holidays. They might feel like they've got nothing but time to figure things out. But this year, we're dealing with some pent up demand from
hmm
2020. People are
We
starting
are.
to leave their houses, they're getting vaccinated. Thank God. The interest rates are, the money is practically free. It's 2.5%, it's 3%, whatever
hmm
it is like it's
hmm
so cheap, like
hmm
historically low.
hmm
And then you've got people who, it's just this, it's like a funnel of insanity because I
It is. That's a great
I
point. Good way
I'm
to
going to
put it.
speak to North Orange County. I think this is my estimation. I
hmm
have shown, I don't know, 40, 50, 60, I don't know. I'm just like showing houses all the time, which is great because then I feel like I really have a grasp on things. But it looks to me like there's one house right now for every 40 buyers. So in 4 days, you'll have about 40 showings.
Correct.
And out of the 40, it looks to me like, and this is right now in the last 4 weeks or something, out of the 40, it looks to me like 10 to 20 will write an offer.
hmm
10 to 20.
hmm
And what the heck, right? Oh my gosh. And even, I don't even price my houses really low. Like you and I, we dealt with a situation a few weeks ago where the house was priced intentionally like $100,000 less than what it was worth. And that is, in my opinion, it's not how I do things. I think it makes people really angry,
It
confused,
does.
anxious.
Right.
You know, in this market, just price something what you think it's worth, and the market will react and offer accordingly. Okay. You don't have to do anything stupid with the pricing. I hate that so much. So, not that I'm judging, but I kind of am. So anyway,
Well,
so
because we deal with this all
even
the
when
time.
you,
We deal with it. Yeah.
yeah, I hate it. It's like, don't do that to people. You just price it right. And so
Be
like this
fair.
condo that I have 18 offers on, I priced it right. And by right, I mean, it's priced $40,000 more than what it was valued by myself last summer. $40,000. I was like, this is a bold move, guys. You know, let's do this. I feel like I look at what the houses have sold for, then I look at that city and how many houses are for sale in that price range, and it's all relative, right? 18 offers. And now the offers are 30,000 over the asking price. And
wow.
you know, I'm a buyer's agent, I'm a listing agent. I understand being both, you know, and I have a couple of buyers that I'm working for right now, and I love them. I want to find them a home, and they're really good buyers. I mean, they've got 20% down, they've got great credit, they write a nice letter. They don't ask for anything ridiculous. You know, we write a nice offer. But the fact of the matter is that people are doing some really aggressive stuff right now. And we have a couple things we need to tell buyers today, and we need to tell sellers. And I do have a message for other agents as well. Okay. So
boy, do we.
I'm going to tell buyers right now. I'm going to tell them I'm going to tell them that what they're experiencing is not just them. It is all the buyers right now are experiencing the anxiety, the sense of loss when they don't get the house that they really fall in love with. I mean, this is a big deal, you know. I would be so sad if I fell in love with a house and didn't get it. And that's how they're feeling. But yet we're asking them to pick up the pieces and keep moving because there's no.
I think I lost your audio there. There we go.
We got to keep moving. So
yeah, right.
So I want them to know they're not alone. They're not unique in this experience, that it's very, very hard out there right now. I had a buyer call me this week, and she's working with a realtor, and she's written 7 offers. She hasn't even gotten a counter offer. And she wants to jump ship to a different realtor. And I pretty much talked her through it because, I asked her some questions about her realtor, who sounded like they were working really hard, giving up their nights and their Saturdays to go show them houses and doing a good job. And I just think, it might be your realtor, but it just might be the circumstances.
Well, sometimes it's a bit of both, right? I mean, we both deal with that. And, we all have these situations, and it's, a lot of it has to do, I know you agree with me on this, a lot of it has to do with how you guide that buyer through the process and setting the right expectations, right?
Right.
And so I think when buyers have the right guidance, it's easier to maneuver through some of that process because there's so much going on, right?
Right.
Yep. That makes a big difference.
Yeah. So, dear buyers, just hang in there. It's a hell of a market right now, where I'm sorry you're going through this, and you're doing the best you can. Some hot tips for buyers are, write your very best offer up front.
Yes. Don't lowball the offer. Do not
Don't,
lowball the offer.
yeah.
See what they're going to say.
How far can you take it? Just do it right up front. I'm telling you, because
yeah,
like right now on this
going
condo,
strong.
I have 18 offers. I'm not going to counter offer all 18.
Right.
I don't know what I'm going to do. The seller's going to pick what they want to do, but I'm going to probably give them an option of saying, hey, let's just counter offer the top 3 or something,
Yeah, right. You got to go in strong.
Right. And the top 3 are going to be based off of price, escrow period, contingency period.
Correct.
And what they're asking for. A seller wants to, in this market, they can dictate their whole feelings through the whole process, basically.
Yes, they can.
And so they want to feel footloose and fancy free. So what are they going to do? They're going to shorten up your inspection periods. They're going to make sure you have a nice deposit in there.
Yes.
And they are going to sell it as it is. They're not going to do a damn thing. They're not going to fix anything. So those are the kind of things. And then, I'm having a hell of a time with one of those big online loan brokers right now. Just a hell of a time. Talk about zero motivation. I don't, like nobody has.
And skill set.
Yeah. Like
all of that.
The loan officer told me on the phone, she's actually never.
I lost your audio there.
Yeah, I know. Every time my phone rings, it does that. Anyway, the officer told me that she had actually never done one of these loans before. So I'm walking her through it. Okay. So anyway, another thing I'm thinking about putting in my counteroffer is a late fee. So, if you say that you're going to close in a certain period of time, if you don't, then there's going to be $100 a day late fee.
Yeah,
to try to keep people motivated, because it's like, it's so exhausting to not meet the deadline. Don't say
it's a lot of extra work. It's huge. It's a huge amount of work for you as an agent to keep following up and not getting the answers. And then you have all kinds of issues around that.
I know. Everybody goes to ditch us, right?
Yeah.
And I know you're doing a hell of a job over there. How's your transition to the new place going?
Good. Yeah, thanks. We have the team on board. The transition was slower than I was anticipating, frankly. It's just a licensing thing. It's all compliance, right? So with the state, with the transfer of the license, I cannot be on the system. I cannot be pricing loans or running credit I can't be on the processing platform at all until the license is officially transferred to hometown lenders. And it is now, thankfully. But gosh, for about a week or so, 10 days, it was just painful because I'm so used to being in that every day. I'm thinking I'm locked out. And it's just a compliance thing. So, but otherwise, no, we're doing great. Got the team on board and super excited about it. And it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, it's nice. I love the 90-day rate lock option, especially right now when it takes forever to find a house and get an offer. It's just one less thing that somebody has to worry about,
Exactly right. Yeah, it's always about being prepared. We talk about that a lot.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. And then I have a message for 2 more people. Okay. Home sellers. Dear home sellers, if you are even remotely thinking about putting your house up on the market, if you're waiting for a sign to do that, this is it. Like there has never been, holy cow. Like I have never seen a more favorable seller's market in my 22 years. Now, the problem is, where are they going to go? Right. Because of this whole lack of inventory. It's like, you can negotiate a rent back. You can maybe negotiate a little bit of a longer escrow, although I wouldn't really recommend that. But really, like, nobody's going to want to hear this, okay? But I really suggest that you put your house up for sale, sell it, and move to a vacation rental home for a month or two. Move to the beach.
Do something.
Yeah, do something,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like on top of all this sort of buyer stress right now, it's extra stressful when somebody's breathing down your neck to
Mm-hmm.
buy your house
Yeah, it's
and
just too hard to
then
coordinate that.
find one.
Really
Yeah,
difficult right now. Yeah,
exactly. So
good advice.
I know. And then it's not exactly what they want to hear, but
Mm,
let's just be honest. I mean, I would be a
It's
terrible realtor if I told you what you wanted to hear all the time, right?
right, right, for sure.
My
Well,
last,
but they're going to have
oh
the
God,
better experience by following that guidance, because otherwise they're going to be totally frustrated all the time,
I
and that's
know.
just
I
not,
don't want to do
that's no
that. I don't
fun.
want to do that to people. Yeah, I don't.
Right.
It's like there's one thing that I like completely value over like all things, and that is respecting people's time,
Mm,
and their time
yeah.
to be doing the things that's really important to them while I work out all the details. And I don't want their brains in a scramble trying to figure out this house thing. It's like if you just plan on upfront
Hmm.
a good plan, then you don't have to be super frustrated later.
Oh boy, is that true? So true.
And then the last piece of information, advice I have is for my
Hmm.
fellow realtors. There's so many great realtors out there. I
Yeah.
actually have had dreams about passing away and who I'm going to leave in charge of my estate. Which realtors are going to be, and there's a nice
Oh my
list. I know
gosh.
there's a lot of really great realtors who I love and adore and
Right.
who I lean on for things and who I trust
Yeah.
implicitly.
Hmm.
But for example, and this is buyers, pay attention to your realtors. Like,
Hmm.
do they ask important questions? Are they tuned into the market? Are they
Hmm.
looking out more for you than for them? Do they seem desperate for a deal? Like, who are you working with? And
Hmm.
are they organized? Do they have their stuff together? Okay. Because
Hmm.
I'm looking at all that as a listing agent when I'm
Hmm.
reviewing 18 offers.
Yes.
For every offer I've gotten in, I've had at least 2 phone calls and 5 text messages. Hey, is this available? Hey, can I show it? And in the MLS, I have all the instructions there. It
Right.
says, here's how you show the house. You have to schedule an appointment
Hmm.
using the online appointment scheduling program. So they could schedule an appointment any time of the day. I could be asleep and they
Hmm.
could be scheduling their appointment. It's so cool. It's online.
Yeah,
It's called
that is
showing
actually
time.
really cool. I like that.
It is
That is
fantastic.
cool.
And that way people aren't
More efficient.
overlapping each other. Yeah.
Right,
And
right.
and
Better
once they
control of the
schedule the
process.
appointment, they get
Hmm.
a login code for the key box, and they
Hmm.
have to send their coronavirus forms. And then
Hmm.
it says that the seller is going to be reviewing offers today at noon. I made as a cutoff time
Sure.
because people like
Hmm.
to know what's the cutoff time today at
Yeah.
noon.
Hmm.
Now, if more offers come in, am I going to present them? Of course I am. I have to.
Sure.
I'm legally obligated to give the seller all the offers. But if we want to come up with a cutoff time, I said today at noon.
Hmm.
So, but still, and I know things are moving fast and
Mm.
people are stressed out and everything, but I'll still have realtors text me. I would like an appointment for this day at this
Oh,
time, blah, blah, blah. How do I get into the
they're
property?
not
What's the
reading the
code?
MLS.
They don't
Yeah.
read the directions. And I'm like, if you don't
Yeah.
read the directions, are you going to read
Oh,
everything else to do with the
well,
transaction?
see, that's the opener, right? Because if they can't follow the simple directions about how to show the property, good luck once you get into escrow with all the details that go on around that, because they're not going
Oh
to be able to
my gosh.
follow it. And so that's not a good thing for their buyer.
I know that. And then I had this one agent. So typically, how we send offers is you send an
Hmm.
offer via an email with your attachments,
Hmm.
offer, proof of funds,
Hmm.
approval letter, right?
Right.
And
Right.
then you put the property address in the subject line. And then you write a Dear Abby letter. Here's the
Sure.
offer. Here's what it's all
Hmm.
about. Okay, that's great. Everything's in one email because when you have 18 offers, it's a lot to manage and you want to make sure the
Hmm.
seller sees everything.
Mm-hmm.
I had this one agent send me 4 separate emails. One had the proof of funds. One had the approval letter. One had, and I said,
Not a good start.
here's something for you to think about. If you want the seller to see all your information at once, you should just download those things and just put them into one email and then send them with and she said, I'm not tech savvy.
The agent.
I know. Yeah.
Wow. Well, to your point earlier, when we talked about how buyer's offers don't get accepted, it says, is it a combination of the realtor and the buyer? That's a perfect example right there.
I know.
And I feel bad for the buyers in that situation.
I know. And I said, okay, well, I'm just giving you a helpful hint, like I don't pretend to know everything, but I know a lot of stuff about this. And I'm saying that it is very helpful if you are thorough and you follow the directions right off the bat and you get things done. And then they're sending me proofs of funds and it doesn't match the amount that they're putting down.
On the
So
offer.
if they say they're putting 100,000 down, I got a bank statement with 70. I'm like, well, where's the other 30? Well, it's a gift from their parents. Well, you and I both know that you just don't get a gift from your parents. There's a whole process here. You have to know where the money came from. There has to be a gift letter.
There's a process, right?
The letter says I'm gifting this to them. They don't have to pay me back. I've seen it in my 22 years where somebody's getting a gift. They present this, I'm not paying them back letter. And the parents are like, wait a minute, you're paying me back. And they're like, no, I wasn't going to pay you back. Now we have no gift, right? Like if you're getting a gift, give the gift letter. Give the gift letter.
Back
and
it
you
up.
have to give
Back
proof.
it up. Yeah.
So I'm begging people, if you want, some kind of response or success or something, just get it together, man.
That's great advice, honestly, is Megan. And I deal with the same thing you do at a different level, of course, because I have some agents that are like those agents that don't submit everything like they should. And I'm working with the buyer on their approval. And that's when I typically always call a listing agent up and tell them what we're doing and how we're doing it, which is helpful. But it's, it's the good agents like you that follow the directions, that do all the right things, that follow the steps. And we talk about this a lot. And guess what that is? Having a drama-free transaction. Right. And if you're creating drama up front before the offer is even presented, you're not going to have a drama-free transaction, and no one likes that.
I know. I send the agents this email, and when we open a transaction, and I think you've seen it probably on my emails, my offers, and I really believe that it's our job as professionals to make sure that our clients don't experience a lot of drama and stress in their real estate transaction. So it's like, you're not going to get any drama from us. Like, we're going to handle our business. We're going to be professional. We're going to get it done. We're not going to get emotional. We're not messy. We've done all this stuff up front. And I want everybody to have a good transaction.
Right. For sure.
The seller, the buyer, the agent, the loan officer, geez, Louise. Oh my gosh, Rick.
I know. I have another
one that's a month late closing. And they just
as you well know, that could have been avoided if they would have followed the guidance.
I know. Well,
they thought they knew better, and now we're having the discussion again. I know. We can't stress enough to people, and I say this to your buyers all the time. They'll say, "What should I do?" My answer always is, whatever Megan says, do that. Don't question it.
Yeah, ditto
just do
for
it.
Rick.
That's it. Just do it.
We do these things for a reason.
Don't think
we
too
want
much
you to
into
be successful. So just
we want you to have a great experience. Follow this guidance. And guess what? Yeah. This is not our first rodeo. We have experience doing this, right? Follow the guidance. We'll have a great result.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So that's our 3 pieces of advice for this week. We did do a video last week. And I told Rick I wasn't going to publish it because I wanted to do some more work on it. So hopefully you've watched this one this week. I know it's long and your attention spans are short, but feel free to forward it to someone who is frustrated and looking for a house right now, so they know just to hang in there, follow the guidance, make sure your act is together, and you too will find a home, because this market is not changing. anytime soon.
No time soon, for sure.
All right, Rick. Thanks for your
Okay.
time.
Good stuff. Thank you, Megan.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. See you later. Bye.